Hi, it's Gwendolyn at Lifestyle Sew. You don't often see Molly because she's so little. She doesn't normally get a chance to get in because the snow, I don't actually think snow's going to come down today because he's on his sleep post. Is that what you call it? He's up there. Well, actually, I've come in from work, so I've just made a fabulous fish curry. It was really lovely. Been away for a little while, not away, but you know, I haven't been doing any videos for a little while because some of you know that's in Facebook. I did put something out on Facebook that I had a little while ago. I had like pains in the back of my neck. My neck was locking. I had a trapped nerve in my back. And that went on for a week and took a few weeks to get that sorted out. And then I had a few weeks fine. And then I had sciatica going all the way down my leg and hip. And then that cleared up after a week with some painkillers and everything. And then I had another couple of weeks fine. And then it played up again. And all this time, I keep on having this time off work. I've never had so much time off work. So I hadn't really or felt like doing any sewing or anything. And then my niece came from New York and then she was buying a house. Well, she didn't actually buy a house. She rented a house. But she's going to buy one, but not until next year now because of all what's going on, really. So it was going down to London and seeing her. And then we went to the Ali Pally, which I thoroughly enjoyed that day. And I was fine. And I came back and then there's all sorts of things. The garden needed sorted. The house needed sorted. You know, when you're sewing all the time, you don't get a chance to clean up. And that was a bit of a bummer because I do like it nice and clean. And I just didn't have the, you know, the sewing takes so long to do. And then you're working, it really does take a long time to do. And I was going to make this top that I did put on Facebook, but I didn't end up making the top because I was going to do it for Sure Fit Designs and transfer that and make it really with the Sure Fit Designs basic pattern or basic fitment, the blueprint, and then transfer that information onto the Vogue pattern. Look at it. It was a bit bizarre how you it didn't go well. It wasn't a good top to actually show anybody how to transfer the information because it was cut across the top and then the arms went all the way down. So all of one side was one and then one side was the other and then the bottom. It really did not bode well to actually show it. It was so complicated to try and show anybody that. And then I realised it had this scarf on it that was going to wrap around your neck. I thought maybe that's not actually the best look for me. When you're big chested, you don't want extra stuff going on. So I didn't actually think that one through properly. So I gave that a miss. But this is what I'm going to do. This is Vogue 1638. It's really a very modern skirt with flounce on one side. And I've had this, I don't know, for a couple of years. I've had it when it first came out, this pattern. Let me just show you the back, the actual line drawings. So it really is quite nice. In actual fact, you don't really need to put this longer piece on if you don't want to. You could actually just, you know, just cut it off straight there instead of having that if you didn't want to. But I don't often do skirts. I do wear a lot of skirts because I like dresses and skirts, so I do wear a lot of skirts. But it's always tops that I'm always short of. I like blouses and things, and it's hard to get a good blouse. Or a good black, you know, the designs of blouses are a bit rather fumpy or just, it really is hard to get them. So, you know, you'd rather have to make them. And it's hit and miss on the fit. So you've got to try and get the fit right. Because you've got a lot of space, if you like. Because I like to do a lot of things with knit, and it's easy with knit. But then once you go woven with a blouse, then you've got to get it quite right. And it can, sometimes it can look a bit odd if you haven't got that fit right. But luckily enough, with Sure Fit Designs or the Lutterloh system, you can get a nice fit and then transfer that information over to designer patterns if you want to do that. So that's what I'm going to do with this pattern. And the material, I bought this from, this doesn't say it's lined, but I am actually going to line it. And so I just bought lining, anti-static lining. And this material is really expensive. I was going to buy a wool. I wanted to buy a good wool skirt. And I didn't end up getting wool to do this at all. Let me show you. I bought it from Scotland as well. Sure, I could get it for loads of fun. I think it's got a little tiny bit of wool in it, but not much. It's not much wool in this, but I suspect. But it's very, it's going to be really, really nice. I think that would be quite nice as a like ruching. It's meant to be for Christmas, really. And that's another thing, Christmas. I'm going to have to start thinking about a dress for Christmas. Now, I know I've got a green velvet material upstairs, so it's definitely going to be that green velvet material. And I'm not quite sure. It will probably have long arms because I want it. And it's stretch velvet. So therefore, that's always nice around Christmas time if you've eaten a little bit too much, you know, because you haven't got anything cutting you in half or anything. So that's quite nice. I haven't quite decided on what dress I'm going to, or what pattern I'm going to make. Because there's quite a lot of patterns that I have got that I can make a nice dress out of. And there's some patterns that I always like. I do always like a princess line. It's very easy to fit a princess line. And that, you know, and sort of like a semi-round neck, because, you know, I don't like things right up to the neck. This is why I've got this sort of like rolled neck thing. It dips down a bit. It will be a dress. But I'll have to have a look through the patterns to see what dress we're going to have. And this is what you need to think about now too. What sort of material do you want to sew a Christmas dress out of? Or do you want a Christmas skirt? There's lots of skirts on the market that you can have a look at and think, actually, I love that skirt. Just take a picture of it and come back and have a look through patterns, through the skirt you want to make, or what dress you want to make. I mean, I do have a lot of expensive dresses that I've actually bought. And I do love them all, but, you know, your weight fluctuates. So some styles I can't get into yet. And then others, they're too big now. So, so you've only ever got a few dresses that actually fit you, or a few skirts that actually fit you. I've got loads of skirts, but there's only a few of them actually fit me now. So that's in trousers. Don't even get me started on trousers. I mean, I've got such a funny figure with trousers because I've got a flat backside. I'm not exactly wide hipped, but, you know, I'm straight at the front, or flat at the front, flat at the back, and just a normal hip, I guess. So with those two, they really do need to be fitted. I really do need to make a pair of trousers. I've never made a pair of trousers. But I really do need to have a go at doing that because I never can get the fit right. I'll buy, say, a size 14 and it's rather quite tight on the waist and then the legs, I've got skinny legs and this is why we sew, isn't it, really? But there's just so many things to sew. And I like sewing craft things as well, like bags and bits and pieces and embroidery. I love doing that. I mean, there's nothing like embroidery. I think that's amazing. I just love doing that. And especially if you make something and you put a nice nice piece of an embroidery on it, it looks pretty good. In quilts, I like to make quilts. So you can't do everything or please everybody. Hopefully, I can try and find some patterns that maybe we can think about doing for Christmas, and I think that would be quite, maybe we'll do that in our next project. I'll do this skirt first and then we'll do the dress for Christmas. Hopefully, see how that goes. But I just thought I'd quickly pop in, say hi. The people who follow me, yes, I haven't dropped off the face of the earth. And I am fine, I'm okay. So it's, you know, it's going through a little bit of, I don't like to pop too many painkillers. I mean, you get all spinny, don't you, with painkillers. So you will need for this, you'll need your Sure Fit Design blueprint. Or if you're doing a Lutterloh, you will need a basic pattern, skirt pattern that is fitted, because you want